Smoke bomb, super heavy armor, skill spec, and senior defense again. I mean, smoke here would be devastating, but I think smoke can be a lot more devastating for him, because my carry units are the Phoenixes. His carry units are the Arclights. They are on the ground, I'm up in the air. Elite on the Phoenixes should help them deal with the Arclights a lot better, but my problem right now still is how do I even deal with these Wasps? Well, here's some fortresses. Not only should they be good into my opponent's army, they should also be good to destroy the Wasps. I should also sell something here to get some shields down. I'm not even sure what I sell. I think I sold one of the spiders. I kinda didn't calculate that, or rather I wanted to get too much for what I ultimately needed. Desperately needed. Shield here shields most of my ground stuff, and shield here doesn't really get to do much. Speed enhancement because I have the money, and I'm kind of pushing into the ranged units, so it is my job to be fast and my opponent's job to sit there and wait. He just throws down so many shields. While Chaff very quickly dies, the Wasps didn't get connected on as well as I would hope for the first wave. Maybe I need to train some Wasp missiling. Because there is a way that the Wasps really don't accomplish much, and that is when the Wasps simply move faster ahead than it will actually, you know, take these... Hang on, I think I spoke myself into a corner there. There actually is a way how the Wasps can dodge the missiles, and that is by basically being fast enough to go past the fortress. So the missiles, or rather past the impact point of the fortress. It's kind of weird. The fortress missiles, similar to EMP missiles on melters, they don't really target a unit specifically. They aim for the spot a unit is at the moment right now, similar to Stormcallers as well. But they don't adjust. A targeted shot, like for example from an Arclight, will kinda home in on the target no matter how fast it moves. I decide to try and go for the Sandworm. Have it go through the middle, sandstorm all of this nonsense, and then hopefully ride that to victory. This fortress almost leveled, that is pretty good. Of course, in these situations you have to buy out and get temp range and everything. But it's very hard to stop carry Arclights once they have started to really scale. Though, of course, my Phoenixes are also decently high level, but not as high level as some of these Arclights. They are pushing level 7 plus, or starting to push into level 7, I guess. Though the Arclights on this side are kinda weak, by comparison to the other side. With the rest of my money, I decide to just get more Phoenixes. Can't help to have more for the opponent to shoot down, can it? Also throw down some oil here in the hope of breaking through on this side, getting a tower debuff and cleaning out the opponent during that tower debuff. My opponent once again is a big fan of just throwing down shields non-stop. And I'm pretty sure the worm, when it's barreled, can move straight through the oil without being slowed. Unfortunately, something that I didn't know, the fangs actually do move towards the worm if they cannot attack it. They don't try to stay at range or attack something else, they will actually move closer in order to hit the worm, basically. That kinda screwed up the worm getting really deep into the enemy lines, and didn't perform as, or rather it didn't do a lot of good for me for long enough, I wanna say. It didn't get in far enough to get as many units as I would hope. Still, the mass Phoenix approach is starting to work. I am actually winning the round. We have some sweet abilities here, but also improved firepower and laser sight. Yeah. There is an Arclight that is a very good candidate to get that. I am going for more fire here, but I'm expecting my opponent to guard against this, so I'm pretty sure I sold this. On the other hand, my opponent is now also feeling like fortresses, which I guess is perfectly fine into both Phoenixes and Sandworms, but I don't really see it accomplishing a whole lot into the high-level Phoenixes. It may very easily kill the low-level Phoenixes, but not the high-level Phoenixes. What item changed hands? I didn't actually look. Also, look at how spell-handy I am. Yeah, he's throwing down all the shields again. A missile here, but it is shielded. I have to expect fire. I'm kind of trying to go around. I did that trick a bunch of times, but in retrospect, I think that is definitely the wrong choice. It was kind of a desperation move, because I'm really close to dying here. We'll see what happens here. Honestly, the spiders in the long term, if they don't get to level, they just get torn apart by the arcs and only get a single wave of mines out. So I think the spiders were not the correct choice in the end. In the beginning they were working, and if they can level off the leveled arcs, they will perform well, but not like this. Superior range on the Phoenixes and shields, even if they get hit, is doing a lot of work here. I once again win the round, and there actually is a very decent amount of Phoenixes alive, but it's not enough to kill him yet. Though his health drops below mine, and I am very disheartened to see these combat abilities. Both the EMP and the Iron Blast can be very merciless to air units. Meanwhile, the Smoke Bomb, if not defended against, can be very merciless to ground units. That shall also be said. Yeah, he's just throwing down the spells. Of course, I am spell-handy as well. I need to defend against this. However, he took an early energy shield device specialist. Remember, that is literally the only card he got the entire match. I mean, I guess I'm not that much different. I only got some supply specialist. I guess there weren't really any good cards for us. So his shields, they don't have 40k HP. They have, what is it? 40%. It is, hang on, it is 40, yeah, 40,000 here. So they should have 56,000, I think. I am trying to evacuate some of my Phoenixes here. And try dropping more forts and give him the punch. My hope is that I can punch these Arclights and just hit them. Possibly hit a tower and win on that route. My opponent has gotten his level 2 attack and level 1 defense. I'm still on 1-1 here. Once again, I don't shield because I don't particularly see that much reason in shielding. I am trying to just have a blob of fortresses here that can hopefully move in on this tower. Two Phoenixes gets wiped here, and that's about all the Iron Beam accomplishes. However, the side where these Phoenixes are going has already lost by the time that they have arrived. On this side it is looking much better, but I'm out of chaff and I'm under tower debuff. And at the end of the day, what I was trying to do turned out unsuccessfully. The Phoenixes get sniped by the Arclights, believe it or not, and my opponent wins against me with Carry Arc Fort. Or some variety of Carry Arc Fort. I think fortresses in the end were the highest investment non-Arclight units, so I think I can legitimately call it Carry Arc and Carry Fort. So the fortresses, how much did they carry? They didn't do a whole lot. Well, these fortresses did a lot. They were basically just the tanks. But they performed well. Well, I have Carry Arc Fort so many poor souls. It's only fair that I get Carry Arc Forted once or twice myself. Alright, let's turn this around and see what goes, or how I could have done this better. Alright, let's try this one again. I think I just kinda skip all the combat powers. I don't even think it is worth going for any of these combat powers. Well, maybe the EMP can be worth something here. because it weakens a bunch of shields. So let's throw it on the edge of this here. Let me get these phoenixes out of here again. And I guess the fort can also, like, reinforce this side. And then what do? I definitely take levels, I definitely do this, and I definitely shield. Not shielding kinda was a mistake, I think. Let's get the fortresses, and do I shield them? I don't think I need to shield them, actually. I think what I want to try now is kinda just go for more phoenixes and possibly EMP. Nah, I won't have the money for EMP. Well, how much do I need? I need, yeah, I need 350, no, 450, I think. I don't have that. So I guess I'm still selling one of the spiders and get some fire in front here. Then kinda try to punch through on this side. These phoenixes are gonna die, so I don't think there's a purpose in leveling them. Maybe just take this. And I guess take levels here. Couldn't even spend all of my money. I'm probably going to get broken through on this side super quickly here. But I'm hoping to survive on this side. I think the phoenixes might be a bit too far ahead, but actually it is working. So far, at least. Chaff is dying. One of my forts is still alive, and the arclights are kinda already dying as well. Okay, that arclight died. That is super important. But will I have the power to punch through the rest? I think under tower debuff I can. No, there is some fang. Ah, okay. It was enough phoenixes. Okay. And that was actually enough. I'm also pretty sure that would have been enough to kill my opponent there. So despite me not managing to spend all of my money, it was actually enough. Alright. So I guess the correct commit would have been more phoenixes. I didn't even need EMP or anything. Just more phoenixes would have been enough. Instead of more fortresses. Alright, that is something to remember. Phoenix against Arclight works pretty well, even when the Arclights will way outlevel the Phoenixes in many cases. Well, I guess I had like level 7 Phoenixes here, and my opponent's Arclights were hitting level 9. So I guess it's fair. Kinda. What's the range, actually? So these level 7 Phoenixes have 210 meters, and the Arclight, this is not the Arclight with the level, this is the... Oh, with the item. Why did he give it to that? I guess this could be 200. This could be outranging phoenixes without an item. 210, and this would be 213. That would actually be very important, I think. Well, in any case, I think I misplayed this one, and I'm not entirely sure what the misplay was, but I guess it was not enough phoenixes. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening, and until next time.